All right.
Going?
Yeah, we're live. We're live.
All right. You want to start or you want me to start?
Go ahead. Google intro.
Um, well, I guess we're just gonna start doing week one NFL picks and bets. I have my kind of breakdowns for each game, and I guess we can introduce ourselves, right? Because we've never done this before.
Yep. So this is the um, What's the Lock podcast, of course. Justin.
My name is Tyler.
All right.
All right,
And
let's get done. Let's get going.
disclaimer: I'm an Eagles fan. Tyler is a Bills fan. Start with that. um, what's the
This is
first
just
game
gonna
you
be
have
for week
listed?
one.
Yeah, yeah. It's week one of the regular season. Obviously, preseason's already started. Uh, so this is just for week one NFL. What's the first game you have down? I think I have them in
Eagles
order, but
Cowboys.
yeah. All right. I'll let you go ahead. Jumpstart the picks for that.
Well, I figured since you're an Eagles fan, I figured you probably would have more of the Eagles stuff to
Oh
talk
yeah.
about. I kind of dipped into the Cowboys a little bit more. Um, the only thing, I mean, as far as betting wise, the line right now is at -7. So -7 is, I mean, if anybody who's a sports bettor knows -7 is a big number to lay with any team, but the Eagles are one of the teams that you definitely can trust as far as laying a big number because they're obviously they won the Super Bowl last year. They're still a very good team overall. I think maintained a lot of the pieces that they had last year, so I think they'll be pretty much the same. Very good unit all around. Great defense, good offense. I mean, you'll have probably some of those numbers, but anyways, the Cowboys uh, they're very bad. They're pretty bad on defense. I mean, they're very below average last year on defense. That's really where my concern is at for this game, and that's why my lean will be well, probably I might even. I'm not sure if I'll actually bet it. I haven't bet it yet, but -7 with the Eagles will probably be my lean slash bet at least right now because I think that line could move. We could see that line get to -8, -9 before game starts. I think a lot of movement will happen probably the week before, but Cowboys were bad on defense last year. They were 21st ranked in the NFL. 17th against the rush. Just they allowed over a little over 27 and a half points a game. They did add on offense George Pickens. They added some pieces on the front five, but they do have some injury concerns up there. So I'm a little concerned of just how healthy they're going to be, that offensive line unit. Um,
No Zach Martin.
and then, yeah, so I'm not really sure how healthy they'll be. Hopefully, I mean that's going to be a big problem because obviously Vic Fangio is an aggressive coordinator. If he smells that the Cowboys have injuries up there week one, he's probably going to attack that. So I just kind of worry about the offensive line there, and then on top of that, the Cowboys running game. I think that's going to be an issue this year. I mean, they added Javante Williams and Miles Sanders, but I don't really think that moves the needle to me for me. So for me, it's like I don't really love the Cowboys this year. I don't know how people are if they're taking the +7. I just don't know how that's. I just don't know how you like it. I just don't know where on the offense they're going to be good. I just don't trust Dak Prescott that much. I mean, he's a good quarterback, but I think he's lost a lot of his mobility and stuff like that. So a lot of it, to me, I think he has to have help. I think he has to have a running game and a strong offensive line to be good. And I don't really see this team having that. So um, yeah, I like the Eagles -7 pretty much all day.
Yeah, I like I like it too. Obviously, I'm gonna pick the Eagles all day. I do have a couple of things. Well, for one, we don't know what's going on with Micah right now. So that's another thing to mention. He's still not under contract. They're still having disputes over there. He's still in trade talks right now, and there's still what 2 or 3 weeks until the season starts. So there's a chance that by the time this game even happens, that Micah is no longer a Cowboy, and that's easily their strong. That's their defense. That's like their whole defense. Um, so there's that. Obviously, Trayvon Diggs. All right, so that's weird. It cut out, but as I was saying, no Trayvon Diggs, so he's not going to be back till I think expected week 3, but could be later. We don't know. Um, Jake Ferguson is also questionable at the moment. He's still getting over an injury. There is also concerns on the other side for the Eagles. AJ Brown's been battling a hamstring. Zach Bond's been battling some injury. There's no Nakobe Dean, so there's a chance that at least one of, if not both, of the Eagles' starting linebackers are not playing. And then you obviously have the injury that happened to Landon Dickerson. It looks like he's going to be playing. He was back on the training field. He wasn't training, but or practicing, but he was on the practice field. He was walking normally. I would expect him to be back um, for week 1. Uh,
Yeah, I just for me, I just don't
I don't
like.
see a world where the Cowboys do much of anything this year. Not to mention Dak hasn't played a meaningful game in how long. So
I think he can still be good, but like I said before, I don't. I think he's got to have some help, and I think he has some wide receiver help. They've given him that, but I like the line has to stay healthy. It's almost like the Bengals situation. Like, how are you going to be good without a defense, without an offensive line, without a running back? Like, you have to have some of those pieces. Besides wide receivers, and or Dak Prescott is going to have to be pretty much superhuman, and like we just haven't seen that. We've never really seen him be superhuman before. I mean, we saw him one year be really good with a really, really, really good offense, one of the best offensive lines we've ever seen. Um, and that was really the only year they were like actually legit, and people were actually like scared to play them. It was one of their first years. But if we go back and remember that team, they had a monster offensive line. That was one of the best units, and they had Des Bryant at the time. And I think it was like they had a monster receiver at the time too. So it was just it's a different year, different team. It's tough. Yeah, I think -7's got to be the way to go there. But it is a division game, and I do see that too. So I mean, it could be a kind of an interesting one. But I do like the Eagles. I think -7 overall, because I do think that line could move. I kind of said that before, especially if you're into it more for the betting. I think it's more definitely better on the Eagles side because I think that line could actually move, believe it or not,
do
even
you
though
like any
some.
player props for this game?
I mean, they don't have any player props available besides touchdowns. They have touchdowns available. I don't really. I mean, you can bet touchdowns, but with this game, not really. I don't really like
Well, I mean,
anything
you
because
could probably predict like if AJ Brown's healthy, you can expect his line to be around 60 to 70 yards. Devontae Smith probably a similar line. Um,
yeah. I mean, yeah. I
Saquon
mean,
Barkley's rushing yards line is probably 150 or some shit like that.
yeah. I mean, in this game, I'd probably look at something like Saquon Barkley, but I mean, I'd have to look again. I don't really have anything for like props wise.
As a
Um,
player
but
prop, just for a fun one, just a curveball. If you see a Dak Prescott interception, I would probably take that. 'Cause I can just tell you from my experience and following the Eagles this offseason, Quinyon Mitchell has looked really good. He's actually been locking down AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, which limits Dak's options as is. So I think a Dak Prescott interception is almost more than likely. So if you see the line, I would take it. But we can probably move into the next game. I feel like that's kind of a no-brainer game.
yeah, I'm good. Chiefs
Um,
Chargers. I got Chiefs Chargers.
yep, Chiefs Chargers. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
you can go ahead and start.
all right. Well, I took the Chargers for this. For a couple of reasons. Hollywood Brown is there's a couple of questionables that I saw on the injury report so far. Granted, we're kind of far away from week one, but a couple they're all offensive players for the Chiefs. Justin Watson, or no, that's a defense. That's like the only defensive player I saw that's notable. Also, I'm pretty sure this ends every 5 minutes, so we might have to take a
Oh,
quick
okay.
little uh, thing before we get into that game. Or no, I don't
Quick
know.
little break, you mean?
I don't know. Um, I guess we'll keep going. So yeah, Justin Watson on the defensive side, he's questionable. Hollywood Brown, and Kareem Hunt are the three key questionables that I saw going in. Um, and on the Chargers side, the only key player that I saw questionable was Mekhi Becton, who was probably their big offensive pickup as far as offensive line goes. Um, Obviously, probably wasn't their biggest offensive pickup because they did get Keenan Allen back. But as far as the Chargers offense goes, Kai Becton was a huge piece that they picked up in the offseason. But I don't think that's going to affect much. So I don't know. I took the Chargers. The way the Chiefs ended last season and the way their offseason has looked, I'm not totally confident that this end player of theirs is on a downwards trend. And the Chargers have actually looked really good this offseason and the preseason. So I guess I got to put my money there.
Yeah, they looked. They look. I think they've looked okay in the preseason, but the preseason, for me, the preseason is more because all the guys in the preseason. Number one, all the teams are going to play all their second unit, third unit guys. Most of the teams are not going to play their first unit guys. But all of those guys are playing for jobs. They're playing. They are playing like it's a real game. And while the Chargers have looked pretty decent, at least in the first game they did against the Lions, when everybody watched that game, the Lions also looked really bad in that game. They turned the ball over like it was a hot potato. It was really disgusting to watch. But anyways, this game, honestly, I'm actually on the other side. I actually like the Chiefs here, and I'm a Bills fan. I absolutely hate the Chiefs, but I am on the Chiefs here. Number one,
You don't have to be a Bills
uh,
fan to hate the Chiefs.
that's true, but uh, I do have a couple things I like here. Number one, Chargers in that before that game or slightly after. I don't know when they lost this guy, but this is a huge loss for them. Rashawn Slater, their left tackle, their starting left tackle, is out for the season. For me, that's a big loss for the Chargers because they don't already have a ton of depth there. And this
Well,
is
that's why I
off.
think Mekhi Becton was such a key questionable going in.
That was good, and that was a good pickup for the Chargers. But I do think it's going to be. I mean, just losing a left tackle like that before the season even starts for the whole season is a huge, huge loss for them. And I mean, you already. It's tough with the Chargers because they have had a lot of changes overall. I mean, they've had a lot of offensive and defensive changes. We'll talk. Well, I'll talk about the defensive changes in a minute, but the offensive changes. I mean, they lost Joshua Palmer, so now their wide receiver core. Really, I mean, after Lad McConkey, I mean, I don't know who they're throwing the ball to. I mean, they're going to throw the ball to somebody, and I think Justin Herbert can find people, but it's like if
They
they're going
did
to start
reacquire
losing
Keenan
people.
Allen.
Yeah, and he's definitely on the older end. I'm not really sure what he's going to be able to do in the league. I mean, he didn't, and I think Herbert can help him out more than Caleb Williams can, but I don't know what more he's going to be able to do on this team. I mean, he's
Yeah, he
definitely on
probably
the
will
older.
be more of a red zone target,
Uh,
kind of like how they used Mike Evans later in the season. Tampa Bay, big
yeah,
red zone guy for sure.
yeah. So yeah. I mean, I don't. I just don't expect Keenan Allen to be Keenan Allen at this stage of his career. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely on the older end. Yeah, I mean, and another thing is this. So my other points were that this game is in Brazil. It's not a home game for the Chargers, even though it's stated as
That
a
field
home
sucks.
game.
By the way, that
This
field is
game is in
horrible.
Brazil. I think that actually helps the Chiefs in a way because Patrick Mahomes is really good on the road. He's been a very good as a small favorite, actually. When the spread is in between 3 and a pick 'em, which this game is at 3 points right now, -3 with the Chargers or with the Chiefs. Mahomes is 15-8, so he's really good when this with the spread. I think this is more like I think this is more of a neutral game instead of a Chargers home game. If it was at home, I could possibly find a way to the Chargers or maybe leaning towards the Chargers +3, but I do like the fact that actually this game is in Brazil for the Chiefs, given everything else that I've just said, and also the Chargers. We haven't even talked about the defense yet, but they lost a ton last year. I mean, their defense lost a ton of pieces. They do have a lot of new pieces coming in, so week one. It's hard to ask that type of unit to go out there against a really good. The Chiefs are going to be a good offense no matter what. I don't think they're going to be a bad offense.
Well, unless it's
Uh,
the Super Bowl, apparently.
it's because, yeah, everybody's going to go based off the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes is still going to be Patrick Mahomes. And I still think they're going to be a very good team. Um, and this is just more of a Chiefs spot to me. I mean, the Chargers lost a lot. They lost over 6 defensive starters last year, going into this year, including obviously Bosa. A lot of other defensive backs, linebackers. I mean, they lost a lot. So it's
Yeah,
hard
the
to ask.
Bills really poached the Chargers a little bit.
Yeah, it's just hard to ask a unit week one to go out and shut down a Chiefs offense that is going to be good.
It's
I mean,
probably
they're
a
going to be
game
good.
I'm gonna stay mostly away from. I mean, the only thing I might
Yeah.
take, and this is because, again, I mean, I witnessed the game last year in Brazil as well. The field is horrible. It's not going to be a excuse me. It's not going to be a big running game. Like I don't think there's going to be a lot of. I don't think you're going to see Najee Harris or Isaiah Pacheco if Kareem Hunt's really out. I don't think you're going to see any of them go for more than 80 yards. I really don't think that. I think with the Chargers and the Chiefs, I think you're going to see get aired out a little bit. Um, so I don't know. I probably won't
Yeah, as far as bet, I won't bet the
stay.
Chiefs, but
Yeah,
I do like the Chiefs. As far as a pick, I do like the Chiefs. I just don't know if I want to see the Chargers go out there and actually beat the Chiefs and look like they're a better team. I just
this
don't
is one I'll probably stay
say
away
that.
from as far as like parlays go and bets. I'm a little uncertain on that one, but I think what do you got for the next game?
I got the Giants Commanders.
Yep, that's what I got.
Spread is -7. Um, totals at about 45.5. Definitely lean to the over, and I actually do like the Giants plus 6.5 here. Um, I think the Giants have made a lot of improvements this offseason. Yeah, and going back to last year, and I don't think obviously last year goes too much into this year, but both games between these two teams finished within 7 points, and actually the Giants won one of those games. Commanders played a lot of close games last year. They had close wins against the Cowboys, Bucks, Saints, Bears, Steelers. All of those games finished within 5 points. Then keep in mind also the playoff games where they got absolutely smashed by the Eagles. Came back and obviously they won a big game against I think it was the Bucks, the second time there. So they've had a lot of close wins, at least going back to last year, and part of that was because the defense was struggling, and sometimes at least the offensive line was struggling. So um, I, the Giants have a pretty good defense. At least the front seven is good. Secondary has some question marks as far as depth, but I do think they have some at least talent there. But I think they have gotten better on defense, and they're at least young. That's what I like about the Giants. They're young, they're fast. Their front seven is really good. They have really a potential to be a top 5 unit, as far like just in the front seven. And the Commanders, flipping over to the Commanders, I thought this was really interesting. I looked this up. Commanders have 20 players over the age of 30 going into the 2025 season. Next closest team has 11 players that are over the age of 30. That's the Steelers. I thought that was kind of interesting. And I mean, age to me, especially in the game of football, translates to injuries, and obviously speed is an issue. So to me, I like I just like the young, athletic Giants. I think they keep things close in this game. Giants haven't figured out a quarterback, but I do think they're heading in the right direction, at least moving away from Daniel Jones. So I think at least they can do something or on offense. And yeah, so I'll take the Giants +7, lean towards the over. Um, I mean, you can kind of take it from there. I mean, the one thing I do like on the Commander side is they do have Debo. I think they will end up signing Terry back because they need him. But other than that, yeah, I don't know how you feel about this game.
Yeah. I also I think I agree with you as far as the line goes. Um, I think Russell Wilson is going into. I think he's gonna find real quickly that he has one of the better off as far as like athletic pieces he has to kind of deal with. I mean, you have Tyrone Trace who had a really good showing last year.
Yeah,
Um, Malik Neighbors. I don't care what people say about Darius Slayton. He has been the one dude where if you see a 80-yard touchdown breakout in a Giants game, it was Darius Slayton.
The
So
Giants. Yeah,
and
I didn't even talk about that. The Giants have probably one of the most
they have
talented
a very talented
receivers.
offense as far like I said,
Um,
Darius Slayton, probably my favorite player on the Giants. He's so underrated and a
I think
crazy
Malik
deep threat.
Neighbors.
And Russell Wilson thrives on a deep ball.
Yeah.
That's kind of what he does. And with the uncertainties on the Commanders' secondary specifically, I really like Darius Slayton in this game. Um, the
I mean,
only
one thing we
problem is
don't know is the Giants, who the Giants are going to have at quarterback. I mean, out of preseason, it seems like Jameis Winston is kind of winning that battle right now, but I'm not really too sure because I don't think Russell Wilson has played in the
he did have a
Did he?
play in the preseason. He did
Okay,
throw a 80-yard pass to I don't remember who it was to, but he did
I
have
didn't
an
see him
80-yard
come
completion. It
in.
was a deep ball, ironically. That's just what he thrives on.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see him
Peanut
come in.
butter
But
and jelly
anyways,
with him.
yeah, I mean, that is gonna be the one question, like who's gonna be starting quarterback. I personally, I honestly hope that it's Jameis Winston because I do think, and I guess I don't really care who it is. Either one of them, I don't really think because the thing about the Commanders is I don't think they got better on defense. Kind of piggybacking off the age thing. A lot of those are defensive players. I mean, Von Miller, Bobby Wagner. They have a
Yep.
lot of like older players on defense. So to me, especially with the speed advantage on the Giants side, they're young, they're fast on offense. I can't say they're like necessarily better like skill wise, but I do think they're going to be able to keep things close in a divisional game, week one.
Giants
I
do
would
have those
personally
weird
hope it's
spark
Jameis Winston.
seasons where they actually do good. Like even 2 years ago, like they made the playoffs. I think
Yeah.
we forget sometimes they made the playoffs 2 years ago. And they actually won their first playoff game. So I
Yeah,
mean,
I think Commanders are kind
it
of gassed.
yeah.
I feel like they're kind of a gassed team.
And
I
if
don't
they
see how
can't
this team is
and
gonna
if they
be.
can't figure out Terry McLaurin, like I don't think Debo is going to be a
I
he's
think
not
they
going to
will
be
figure it
that
out.
big of a help.
Yeah, no, I think they will. I think they will re-sign Terry because if they don't, they're going to be in big trouble.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
think Debo. I don't even think he'll be the third best option for them. I don't know if they still have Olamide Zaccheaus, but I thought he had a really good year last year. Um, I think he would be a better option than where Debo is at. He really fell off, and he doesn't. It doesn't look like he got better in the offseason either. Because I don't know if you've seen any practice film from him, but it's not great. He's definitely lost a lot of his speed. Um, and I think Debo, the one thing he had was like that wildcat option, where you can kind of like let him make people miss and outrun. I don't. think he's very capable of that
And
anymore.
the thing is, he's taken a beating too. I mean, over the
Yeah,
couple of
I'm
years, he's taken.
I'm not sure I love that whole signing from the Commanders in general. They could have definitely gone a better route, but yeah, I'm with you on all that for sure.
And I haven't pulled trigger on the +7, but I think I will probably bet the +7 on. I mean, +7 is just a really good number. I mean, anybody who's getting who likes a +7 is definitely
I
betting a
think there's a
+7.
chance that the Giants pull off a nice win here to start off the season.
No, I like the win. I mean, I wouldn't mind a money line play either. I think,
Yeah,
yeah, no, I think they can
very
definitely
possible.
keep things going. So, yeah, that's I'm ready. I got the.
Next
What do
game,
you
I'm
have for the
assuming
next
we have
one?
the same thing.
Bengals, Browns. I
Yeah,
just went in order for like the draft games.
yeah,
Um,
I think I did similar. Yeah. Wait, what did you say you have?
Bengals, Browns.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I can do that.
Um, yeah, so I think the Browns really had a pretty disappointing year, and a lot of everybody knows that problem was on defense. So and I think a lot. Honestly, I think they had some pieces that they were hoping were going to work, but they just ultimately didn't end up panning out well. And I think a lot of people are still questioning and at least tossing in the air, is Zach Taylor a good coach? Is he going to be fit for the job? I think he is going to end up staying there. And I do think he is definitely a better head coach than, what we're looking at in Miami. And we'll get to that more when we get to Miami. But the Bengals, offensively, I think are still going to be able to be a very good. They're going to be. They were a top 10 unit last year, seventh in points per game. I mean, they were a very, very good offense, and they were one of the best offensive passing yards wise. I think they were. Let me take a look here.
Well, yeah, they didn't
They
really
they were one
rely
of
on
the
their
top
running
offenses
game like at all.
running wise. Yeah, so I can't remember. I didn't. I don't think I actually had their passing offense stat, but they were a very good passing offense. I do have that they were averaged over 273 passing yards per game. So they were very good on the offensive side of things as far as passing. Obviously, with Joe Burrow, T Higgins, and Jamar Chase. But defensive wise, they were ranked 25th in points allowed. Gave up an average of 28 points per game. They just got to be better. I mean, even if the Bengals are a little bit better on defense, their offense would look so much better, as long as their defense would play just a little bit better. And honestly, I don't think you have to add too much talent for that to happen. So I think this team is going to be good still. I think they missed the playoffs last year barely. I think they have a big shot to get there this year as long as they stay. They got to stay healthy, and they got to play better just a little bit better on defense is really the big thing for me. Because I think they even have a pretty good running back that I can't remember his name, but it's the white guy there. I can't remember. But anyways,
Chase Brown.
Browns Browns have a lot of it's Chase Brown or something like that. The Browns have a lot of moving parts. Defense. Well, I think their defense has a chance to be pretty solid, but offensively, I just don't know where they're going to attack. They have a lot of question marks. Obviously, a quarterback. They had Kenny Pickett, but he's been dealing with injuries. Right now, looks like actually Shadir Sanders is could be
Shadir
starting.
Sanders was going to start the whole. I mean, if they wasted a first, well, it wasn't a first rounder on him, but they wasted a huge draft pick, and he was the starting quarterback, and he looked good
I think it was
in his
definitely between the
debut.
two. Yeah.
It
No, I
was going to be
think
him the whole time.
yeah. No, Shadur Sanders. It looks like he'll end up getting at some point being the starter, but I just don't know how good this offense is going to be. They don't have Nick Chubb. They have Jerome Ford, but outside of that, they don't really have running
I
backs that
actually
can
don't
run
hate Jerome
downhill.
Ford. I don't hate Jerome Ford. He had a
They do
couple of
have,
really
yeah.
big plays last year.
He's not bad. He's not bad, but
No.
I don't think they're like a top unit as far as running the ball.
Oh no.
And they. I mean, a receiver they do have Judy. They like all around. I think they have a little bit of depth issue.
Elijah Moore is good too.
Um, a little bit of depth issues, and I mean, with a rookie quarterback, we don't know when he's going to start. At least, I mean, it seems like maybe week one, but we'll see. It's just hard to see the Browns kind of beating the Bengals here, unless they pick up a big or put up a big number. Um, we didn't even talk about the line here. It's 45.5. So actually, like, I
For the
probably would
over,
play the over.
I would probably take that.
Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I could see the Browns
Um,
putting up. I mean, I don't think the Bengals defense got any better, and with what's his name, their leading sack, the sack leader there, was it Trey Hendrickson?
yeah, I mean, 45 and a
He,
half is not
I don't
too
think
bad
he's
a
gonna
number.
be. I mean, he's seeking for a trade right now, um, and they're trying to free up cap space probably to get a younger defense going into next year. So I mean, I don't think the Bengals are going for like a Super Bowl year this year. I'm sure they'll try, and I don't. The only notable questionable player I have going into this game is Mike Gesicki, which isn't going to do much because the Bengals don't rely on their tight ends very much.
No,
Um,
yeah.
the only problem with that is um, Denzel Ward spends a lot of his time on receivers, and he is very good.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I again, this is just from my experience watching and following the Eagles. They obviously just had their joint practice this past week, and Denzel Ward completely locked down Devontae Smith, which not a lot of people can say they've done that. That
Yeah.
being said, you can probably say that either T. Higgins or Jamar Chase is going to have a very slow game because Denzel Ward looks probably better than he has up
Well,
until this
and
point in
I
his
mean,
career.
it's yeah. I mean, and in divisional games, are tough. I feel like they go one way or the other. But so yeah, I mean, I feel like the Browns' best chance of winning is obviously keeping it low scoring, making it tough for the Browns' offense to score. But I mean, is Denzel Ward going to be trailing one guy? Is he going to be going back and forth between the two? We don't. I don't know what it's going to look like there. But it's hard to take the Browns in week one with a rookie quarterback. We don't know how he's going to look with an offense that really didn't show much last year.
Yeah, I guess
It's,
my biggest
you
point
know,
going in this game was I expect the Bengals to be able to put up like 28 plus 30. I don't expect
yeah,
Shadur Sanders in his first NFL start, assuming again, all of these picks on all of these games are all premature. There's still like 3 weeks, 2 weeks until the season starts. But assuming that he's the starting quarterback, which is trending that way, I don't expect him to put up a 30 burger in his first NFL start. Um, that's a tough on a franchise that hasn't been what's the word great lately. Um,
yeah.
I don't see him outscoring the Bengals offense. I think it's going to be an offensive battle, uh, but I don't expect Shadir Sanders to be able to deal with that in his first game. It might be close, and it might be a game where it's like 25 to 30 something or 24 to 30 something. It might be a really high scoring game. I just don't see Shadir Sanders out
I gotta
battling
take the
Joe Burrow.
Bengals.
Yeah,
I just don't think the Bengals are gonna have two bad years in a row.
and I'm
Yeah,
almost confident in that, and to where I would probably take the Bengals money line. And it might not even be that bad, given how bad the Bengals defense is. So, but again, that could all change. We don't know what the line's going to look like 2 weeks down the road. We just know what they are now.
yeah. No,
But
I like the Bengals, and by the way, the spread right now is -5.5. So if you like
oh yeah,
the money, if you like the money line, you're probably not maybe playing the money line at -230. But if you like -5.5, it's not a terrible line.
no, it's not. I don't think
Um,
it'll be a field goal game.
but I do
To
like.
be
I mean,
honest,
I probably honestly I would lean with that line. I would probably lean towards the over. Um,
yeah,
I
I agree.
probably wouldn't take the Bengals, but yeah, I'm ready for the next one. I got Buccaneers Falcons.
Yeah, we can do that. I got that.
Um, So I'm, I, to me, honestly, I'm high on the Buccaneers.
Yep.
I don't know how other people. I don't know. I guess I don't really. I don't know other. I guess how other people feel, but I feel like the Falcons are kind of a hyped up team. Remember, the Falcons have not been in the playoffs since 2018, and that was the last year they went to the Super Bowl.
They were
They
close last year, though. I'll give them that.
they blew a 28-point lead, and that was the last time the Falcons were in the playoffs. So I know this team is hungry, but they do have some struggles. And I really don't know if they've really fixed that. And I think, quarterback wise, they have a battle really going on between Penix and Kirk Cousins. I mean, we don't really know who's going to end up winning that start.
Is
We
Kirk
know
Cousins
Kirk
even going to
Cousins.
be back for? I don't even know if he's going to be back right away. Is he?
Well, that's the thing.
I
I
mean,
think
off of
if
the
if
Achilles
he
tear, I
is,
would expect him back mid-season.
well, that's the thing. I mean, if he is back and Penix is looking good, question is he in or is he out? You know what I mean? Or like that's going to be the question at least midseason. Week one, I mean, against the Buccaneers defense, Todd Bowles led a great defensive coach. I don't know how this line is where it is. I think it was minus 125. Yeah, still minus 125. So I don't understand why they're small favorites. I like the Buccaneers. I think honestly the closing line could be like minus 150, minus 160.
I do
Uh,
have a couple of
just
notes
I
here
think
on
more.
why the line might be closer than we would think. Because I agree with you. I think just based off the two teams and just everything, but there is a couple of things to note. I kind of compare like the Kirk Cousins thing to Aaron Rodgers, and I know that Aaron Rodgers is a different pedigree quarterback, totally different. I mean, you're comparing a one of the legends of our time to Kirk Cousins, he's good, he puts up the numbers, but doesn't quite have the same accolades. But they both are older. They both tore their Achilles. We saw how Aaron Rodgers came back last year. It wasn't pretty. I almost kind of expect even less from Kirk Cousins, and maybe that's kind of like a lot, but um, I just don't see him coming off of Achilles tear at his age. Uh, I just I feel like they would rely more on the young uh, Penix Jr. I don't see why they wouldn't. Um,
Yeah, I mean you can, but it depends on how he looks, right? I mean, and
I mean, he didn't
the
look too
offense
bad
I
last
think
year.
does. I think they can look pretty good. But defensively, I mean, defensively they have some pieces. It's just going to be a question mark of whether because I mean the Falcons just have not been able to put it together. I think they also have a kicking issue with a Young Hoku. I mean, he was really bad last year, and they haven't fixed that issue yet, which
There
I
wasn't a
think
lot of
actually
good
could be a
kickers
big
last year.
issue.
I mean, all the
Um,
top kickers were kind of messy last year. Justin
but
Tucker was bad. Jake Elliott was bad.
I mean, on the
Um,
Buccaneers side, so Buccaneers were a top five offense last year all around. Fourth in total yards, fourth in rushing, third in passing, fourth in total points per game. Team was dominant offensively. And offense up front, the Buccaneers I think have one of the best offensive lines. They have probably the best left tackle in the game with Tristan Wirfs.
well, he's
He
actually
played.
out. He's actually ruled out, and I don't think he's expected to play till like week 3. So that is one of my notes I have here.
Is
No
I don't
Tristan
know.
Wirfs.
I didn't see that he was out, but that's fine. I mean, if he's out, they were still a very dominant offense.
Yeah,
He's
and
and
Baker knows how
if
to
he
get the
was
ball out.
in, I'd definitely be that, and that would be something. Maybe that's why the line is so close. Maybe it's just Tristan Wirfs. I don't freaking know, because Tristan Wirfs is a monster. I mean, he's dominant up front, and
Yeah, as
he's
far as I
definitely a
know,
big part
he's
of that
not going to be back till
success.
like week 3, from what I saw.
Um, But yeah, I mean the Falcons have just been disappointing. It's hard. I mean, I guess that's not bad. Minus 125. Minus 105 for rookie quarterback. He's got a talented offense. I mean, they do have talent. Obviously, Bijan is a big name. He gets a lot of the carries. He's like a freaking. Just a truck out there. He's big and he just seems like he's made of gold or something. He just does not break. So yeah, he's really good. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I do like the Buccaneers still, just because they're so good on defense. I don't know what to expect from the Falcons, but
Yeah,
Um,
I also took the Bucks. Even with like my notes here,
yeah.
I mean, I took the Bucks.
Hold on.
You good? Intermediate break. While we're waiting, uh, the injuries for this game, couple of questionables.
I'm back.
All right. Per my notes again, no, I saw no Tristan Wirfs till I think like week three, as I said. Um, I did take the Bucks regardless because there's a on the Falcons side, Darnell Mooney is questionable. Uh, but back on the Bucks side, there's like three major questionables that I had, which is K. Dotton and Antoine Winfield. Both of them are questionable, but again, I don't think. I think the Bucks are a well-rounded, well-coached team. I don't think it'll be. I took the Bucks, and I didn't really hesitate on that either. Um, yeah, Baker
Yeah,
might
no,
be the
and
most
I think
improved
and the
quarterback I've ever seen
Buccaneers
in
were
my
a
life.
top five unit offensively, like on the offensive line. So I still like their offensive line, even though Tristan Wirfs is out. I mean, they were very, very good last year. So did a very, and that's a big part of why Baker Mayfield was so good. I mean, he threw for over 4,000 yards. I mean, he had like a whole really a legendary season last year. So
Yeah, I mean, he
uh,
might be, like I said, he might be one of the more improved quarterbacks I've seen just
so
from where they were
I
when
gotta
they
give him the
came in the
credit.
NFL till now. Like, I mean, he could potentially lead the Bucks to a Super Bowl. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be
Oh, and
surprised
I
if he were to
think
lead them to
the other
one.
thing is, I think the Bucks. Let me. Well, I don't know. Are we? Are you? Well, because as far as the line, I mean, I
I'm
like
good
the
on this game. Yeah,
Buccaneers.
I'm good. I
I'm
Bucks.
good on this game, but I was gonna see because I think they also the Bucks also added a receiver that I like, a young receiver, a young rookie receiver that. But I can go back to it. I got the next game I have is Jaguars Panthers.
Yep, I got
Uh, to be honest,
it.
uh, I don't really like have like that much like number or like definitely not numbers wise with this game because
This is
at the end of the
probably one
day, I
that I'm
think
going to stay
this
away from.
game this game is going to come down to, for me at least, it's going to come down to the question of Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, at the end of the day, I mean, this is like his make or break year. Trevor Lawrence has to this year look better, or he is not going to be on this team. I don't think past this year. Um, I mean, he has had all the talent in the world. He has all the talent in the world going into this year. There's no excuses for at this point for Trevor Lawrence to not look good or get injured, and like it's been a revolving door with them. It's just been like they've just been up and down, and I think really this year is I mean, for me, the biggest question is Trevor Lawrence like the real deal? Is he going to be the starting quarterback going forward? I think he can. I think he can be. And I think he does have the talent. He definitely has the talent to do it. But I do like the Panthers side. I mean, the Panthers did fix a lot of the issues they had last year. Obviously, the last year, the big issues with the Panthers were mostly on defense. I mean, the defense was one of the worst defenses of all time. Defense averaged over. They let people score over 30 points a game. So the Panthers defense was one of the worst of all time. They were just terrible. They could not stop the run. They could not stop anything all year, and they had a lot of injuries. They just were really bad. But they signed a lot of new starters, so I do think the Panthers are at least going to have a little bit more depth going into this year on defense. And then Bryce Young going into year two is going to be a big year for him, right? I mean,
Year
you
three.
see a lot of year three. So
Yeah.
this is going to be a big year for him too. He had a tough start last year, but he ended up getting hurt, coming back, and he looked really, really good in his final 7 games. He looked really, really good. knocked the Falcons out of the playoffs. He had some other impressive wins.
He almost beat the
Um,
Eagles. He almost did.
so I do. I think he does have potential. So for me, this game is more of like a. I think it's like a pick 'em really. I think I don't know what the line. I didn't. I got to look at the line again. But for me, this is more of like a pick 'em to me, and it's more of a question of like, is Trevor Lawrence really the real deal? I want to see if he can actually do it, because he really should be able to win this game. I mean, like with the talent surrounded by him, I mean, they really should win this game. But I don't know if I really trust the Jaguars at this point. So
I mean,
that's kind of how I feel.
similar to what you said about Trevor Lawrence, where it's kind of like his make or break, or finding out if he's the real deal. It's kind of like a similar story, but like on the flip. So like obviously Trevor Lawrence is kind of on a low right now, and he's trying to get back up, whereas Bryce Young is on the up, and he's just trying to prove that he doesn't go back down. Um,
Yeah, and the good
on
thing
the
is
Panthers
I
side,
didn't
is
really
just
talk about
maintain.
it, but the Panthers, I do like their receivers. They have veteran help from Adam Thielen, which adds at least veteran mind to it. Then they have a lot of young receivers too. And they've drafted a
Yeah.
couple young first round receivers the last couple of years. So I do. I mean, I think the Panthers have some weapons offensively, but you can go get from there.
Yeah, I really think Adam Thielen made a huge impact on that team last year. I mean, you have he's probably a top five route runner, even at his age. Um, he's a top
And
five
keep in
route
mind, he
runner.
missed a couple of games last year too.
Exactly. Yep.
You know.
And he, I mean, he was definitely. I don't want to say he was the right hand man for Bryce Young, but he kind of was. Again, he's just a reliable route runner. You can scheme him open pretty easily because you know he's gonna find a way to help out. And then that's really good for the young receivers to have Xavier Legette, Jalen Coker when he's back. I think he's questionable at the moment, but um, they do have a couple of young talent that could definitely learn from Adam Thielen. I think the Panthers um, are on such a high. I think Bryce Young is going to kind of prove he can do it. And yeah, I have the Panthers winning this too. This is probably one I'm going to stay away from again.
I don't
I
think I
don't.
actually give a firm pick or on the
Yeah,
spread. Line right now is -3 and -155 for the Jaguars home team. I probably lean towards the +3 as far as the spread. Pick wise, I'll probably take the Jaguars at
I
home.
don't think I like. I would probably just stay away from this one
Yeah,
for
betting
my
wise, I
take.
won't I won't touch it. But if I
Yeah.
if I had to give my like lean, I would say probably Panthers. I'd take the +3.
Word. All right.
But yeah, I got Titans Broncos next game.
Titans Broncos. Yeah, got you.
Um, yeah, I mean, to be honest, actually, if you want to
I
start, I'll
don't.
start the
I
first
don't
one.
think this is a. I mean, this is going to be an easy pick. I mean, I'm assuming we're both on the Broncos.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
there's not a lot of injuries on the Broncos. They're a pretty healthy team. Um, on the other side, Titans. We don't know what to expect from their offense. They have one big piece on their defense, and unfortunately, he's going to be out, and that's L'Jarius Sneed. I just don't see a world where the Titans win. This is a pretty quick and easy pick for me. I don't have much to add. Bo Nix obviously had a monster rookie season, um, and they have also a really good receiving core down there as well. I don't see any other outcome of this game. This might be a blowout, unfortunately.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's tough
Just
to
take the Broncos
see.
team total. I don't know what that'll be in 2 weeks, but I'd probably just take it.
Yeah, it's tough to see how the Titans are gonna score offensively. I don't know how. I mean, rookie. I mean, they have Cam Ward, who's
I haven't
gonna
seen
probably
anything
end up starting.
explosive from him though. I mean,
Um, but I mean, offensively, they have a couple receivers. They did get Tyler Lockett. They still have Calvin Ridley, so they do have a couple receivers. I just don't know if they're going to be able to.
yeah,
I'm
but on
probably
the
not going
flip
to be able to
side,
see
they
that.
have the Broncos have
Um,
like the best corner in the
yeah, and
NFL, so
then
that
the
doesn't really.
Broncos have a very good defense,
Yeah,
so I
uh,
don't know
there's a
really.
very good chance this game is not close. Is basically
Um,
where I'm at.
I mean, you're looking at -7.5 for the Broncos. That's tough, you
That's
know.
generous, honestly.
Um, yeah, I know, but the thing is, like 7.5 spreads are, I mean, laying 7.5 with any team. I know it's the Titans. It's hard to do that week one. If you're, actually trying to make money on it, it's just not usually a profitable bet laying 7.5.
Yeah, this is one where I'd probably do player
But
props instead of any money line. I don't think the money line's worth it. I'd probably stick to player props. Like I
but I do
think
like the Broncos. I think they
Cortland
yeah, and
Sutton could have a
they
big
definitely
game.
could cover. But
Again,
I
you're
probably
the
won't bet it.
Titans are missing their top corner. I expect Bo Nix to be tossing that thing. Absolutely.
Total's looking at 41.5. I mean, that's a pretty low total, honestly.
I just don't
I'd
know.
probably
I
lean
would
under,
take that if
but
I knew how if the Titans were going to be half decent on offense, but it's such a small sample size that we've seen with Cam Ward, and what I've seen is not like I haven't been blown away with him yet.
yeah.
I mean, he's had a couple of good passes, but I think there were more better catches from Calvin Ridley, to be honest. Again, I haven't seen much anything crazy from him. This is a pretty easy pick for me. What you got for the next one?
I got Cardinals Saints.
Cardinals Saints. All right.
Um, Saint. I mean, this big thing for me. Well, I mean, Saints are going to be tough this year to like kind of judge because they unexpectedly lost Derek Carr. That
Yep.
was he retired this year, and I
And
don't
then
think
didn't
anybody
draft
really.
a quarterback in the first round.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really knew. So they're still without a quarterback. They got Rattler. They did get a quarterback. I think his last name is Show or something like that. Um, I don't know what they're planning on doing there, but I mean that's going to be the big question. And then Saints I mean they had a lot of issues last year, and that was a big reason why
Yep.
they had one of the worst defenses. They were really bad all around.
Injury prone on
And also
lots of
because
injuries on offense.
yeah, Derek Carr couldn't stay on the field. Wide receivers couldn't
Their
stay on the
whole
field.
receiver
That's going to
core
be
got
another
diminished by mid-season.
that's going to be another question mark this year going into how healthy those receivers can stay. Obviously, we know Kamara can be consistent in the offense, and I think he'll still be used. But the receivers definitely are a big question mark because they could not stay on the field last year. And offensive line is still has. They did actually add some pieces. They did put some pieces into the offensive line, but we don't know how well they're going to gel. Especially week one. And then defensively, I mean, they were one of the worst units last year, along with the Panthers. They were really bad. So going
Yep.
against the Cardinals team, I think they have a lot of upside. I think they finally, after a couple years, I think the Cardinals have actually figure out at least kind of figure out like where they're going offensively. I think they do have some pieces that they can kind of surround, and they can those are going to be their kind of their main pieces. Trey McBride, one of the best tight ends last year. If you're a fantasy guy, Trey McBride was a money man. I mean, the dude was absolutely incredible last year.
Yep.
And obviously they have Harrison, who's going into year two, Marvin Harrison, and he could look very good. I mean, I honestly expect the same kind of numbers from him. I don't really see too much improvement, but I think he could be either the same or if not better than last year. Kyler Murray talks about. I've heard a couple just interviews with him, and he's talking about kind of running the ball a little bit more, just using his legs a little bit more. And hopefully this year he gets to using that a little bit more, because I feel like last year I felt like he kept his eyes a little bit too much down the field. Like he was trying to pass a little bit, like be too much of a quarterback, where like he can be really dynamic on the feet too. So I think if he starts to do a little bit of both, the offense really could be very good. So I definitely like the Cardinals here. I like the Cardinals spread.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the Cardinals pretty much all around. And defensively, I don't really worry about it too much because we kind of just talked about it. I mean, the Saints have a lot of question marks offensively. So, and the Cardinals are a young defense, so I think they can, I think they can look better than last year. Um, I don't know exactly how good they'll look, but hopefully, I think they can look pretty decent. And even if they don't, I think they can put up a good number and win this game.
Yeah, and I agree. I took the Cardinals as well. um, yeah, I mean, for one, I do think their offense is probably a little better than their defense. Cardinals specifically.
Yeah.
Cardinals do have a really well balanced offense. They have a pretty solid running game, and they have a pretty decent passing game as well when they use it the right way. The only thing with that is, and maybe this works out, hopefully in the future for them, is their head coach happens to be obviously a former defensive coordinator who's been to a Super Bowl. So, um, like I don't think that they're like I think their defense could have an upside because of that, especially if they kind of have Jonathan Gannon kind of call the defense a little bit more. Um, but as far as like any worry, I agree. There's not a ton to worry about with the Saints right now. Um, yeah, they have bits and pieces, but they're missing the biggest piece, and that's the quarterback. And that level of uncertainty, I don't trust it against a team that's as well balanced as the Cardinals. Because I don't think the
Yeah, and
Cardinals are that
they had
bad.
a lot of coaching changes too. The Saints' new head coach, Kellen Moore,
Yep,
offensive minded coach. He's really a big quarterback coach,
and that's the
and
one area they
I think he
lack.
could do a good job. But I don't know. Again, we don't really know what the quarterback situation is going to look like. We know Rattler had a couple starts last year, but yeah, obviously they didn't really like go that great, and offense wasn't that great either. So it's hard to kind of judge how he is, and just really the offense is just bad, especially with all the injuries that were going on last year. So
And they're
yeah,
missing
I mean,
both of
again, I
their
like the
two
Cardinals.
top tight ends. Well, I won't say two top tight ends, but they're missing Taysom Hill, who's like, obviously, you know how big of a piece of he is to that offense. And also Foster Moreau is also out, so they're missing of two relatively big pieces of their offense. I mean, Taysom Hill is probably outside of Alvin Kamara their biggest piece on that offense. Um, he's one of those big playmaker. Like when he has a big game, they usually end up winning that game. So that's a big loss for them in this as well. But yeah, I think Cardinals take this is probably one where the line's probably not too bad for the money line, and I'd probably take it. Again, I don't know what it's going to look like in 2 weeks, but I'm pretty confident in the Cardinals on this one.
Yeah, I like the Cardinals for sure.
But yeah, we have the next one.
I got Pittsburgh Jets,
All right,
Steelers Jets.
yeah, gotcha.
Um, yeah, I mean this is a tough one honestly for me because I've gone back and forth on it. And initially I really liked the Steelers. I think offense or free agency wise and draft pick wise, I mean they did a really good job. Added a lot of pieces on defense, and honestly, that Pittsburgh defense has a opportunity, even though they're a little bit on the older side. They do have an opportunity to be like a top unit in the NFL, like up and down. Just if they, especially if they stay healthy overall. Um, Offensively is going to be a bit. It's going to be a question, kind of a question for me because I just don't know what to expect from Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that's going to be a big question for me. I
I think
hope
it's
he
a
looks
question on
better.
both sides, honestly.
Yeah, well, the quarterback situation definitely on both sides is a little bit of a question, but I just don't know what to expect out of Aaron Rodgers. They did add DK, obviously, which was a big ad for them as well. I think that was actually a really good ad, but I just, I don't know. Jets at home, they did add, like I think because they were really bad last year. I do think they're going to be pretty bad again this year, but yeah, I do think the Steelers are going to win this game, but I do think it could be a slim margin. So I do like. I mean, the line is -3. I see why it's -3.
And
I don't
probably,
know if I'll
honestly, that's
actually end
not a
up getting
bad. I actually kind of like that if you do a -3, because I don't actually hate that at all. I also took the Steelers. Um, I do have some questionables of note. Um, as far as the Steelers, for questionable players, as again, this is I can't stress this enough. This is 2 to 3 weeks in advance. But Darius Slay, their biggest cornerback that they picked up, he's questionable. Granted his age, but he is still a very good cornerback. Um, this is probably the biggest one. Alex Highsmith is also questionable, as well as Joey Porter. So those are three big defensive players. So I guess if Justin Fields had a good day, um, that would be the only thing. I mean, he would have to have a good day. Um, but I guess if for some reason all three of those players were to be out, um, again,
And it's tough because they have pieces on offense. I just don't know if they're actually going to look good. And like I said, the Steelers defense does have a chance to be a really, really good unit. And who knows? Maybe Aaron Rodgers does come back alive, and all of a sudden be a he's comeback player of the year again. Um, I just don't know if ultimately I mean, pick wise, I like the Steelers. I just don't know betting wise if I'm actually going to play the Steelers. I was confident in it initially, and then I kind of backed off on it because I just don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to look the same. I've seen some training camp videos of him, and he just looks kind of slow. So I don't know.
yeah. I mean, on the flip side, Justin Fields doesn't look great in training camps in either. I mean, he's missing a lot of wide open, easy throws,
Yeah.
which I guess isn't it's not off brand for Justin Fields, I guess. Which you know, again, if the Steelers' defense is if half of their key players are injured, I, I'd be very hesitant to bet on this game. But but for now, I have the Steelers. Yeah, for now, I have the Steelers.
I got the Raiders Patriots next.
Yep.
Um, yeah, both of these teams, I think, definitely have obviously gotten better over the last offseason. I think both of these teams honestly have a chance to be sleeper teams. Um, I'll start with the Patriots. I mean, the Patriots were definitely the biggest winners of free agency. Picked up a ton of free agents this offseason, including Stephon Diggs. I mean, they've improved a lot. They the big question for me is going to be Drake May, and they obviously got Mike Vrabel at head coach, but big question is going to be Drake May because I don't know exactly. I mean, he did have some flashes last year. You just don't know if he's actually going to put it all together and how good he's actually going to look overall. But I think they really do have a chance. I mean, talent wise, they've defensively they've gotten really good. A lot better. Up front, they've gotten better. Um, they had a good draft as well. So and I do like the Patriots side of things overall, and the grand I do think can be a better unit. Um, like I. As far I think they can be second in the AFC East to put that in perspective. But the Raiders also, I think, have gotten better. They added the young kid, the running back,
Ashton T.
the draft. They have obviously Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly at offensive coordinator. I think they can do a pretty good job of leading the offense. Obviously, they do have still a quarterback issue. Geno Smith is going to be the quarterback. He's kind of getting older. But I do think they can be a pretty good offense. They have good receivers, good
He is
defense.
coming off of a 4,000 yard season though, which I guess works out in their favor.
Yeah, he's just getting older. That's the only concern for me, for him. I still think he can be good, but he's just getting a little bit older.
Yeah, I
So
think he definitely has a better receiving core. I mean, yeah, they had Tyler Lockett. He had Tyler Lockett and DK last year, but I think this year he has a little bit more because he's got. I mean, assuming Ashton Jeanty stays healthy. I mean, you have Brock Bowers, who obviously had one of the better rookie tight end seasons that we've seen. Jacoby Myers, I think, is a really solid receiver. Um, but I did pick the Patriots for this too. There is a lot of questionables that I have of note for the Patriots. One of
Yeah.
the questionables is more of, I mean, yeah, he's questionable to play, but also he kind of had a slump last year, and that's from Andre Stevenson. I don't know what they're going to do about that. I don't because they don't really have a good backup running. I mean, their backup running back was AJ Dillon, and he's no longer. Well, no, it wasn't AJ. No, it was it was the dude from the Commanders. Um, Gibson is their second. I don't think he can carry that type of load. Um, Maybe before the trade deadline ends, they might try looking at a running back because I mean, especially if he starts off slow. But other questionables of note, Christian Gonzalez still up in the air. Stephon Diggs is questionable, and Kendrick Bourne. So a lot of off and Jalen Polk. So three receivers and a running back, all questionable. And then the Patriots' best defensive player is also questionable.
Yeah.
But I think even then I'd probably if all of those players were to not play, I'd probably stay away from those games or that game. But um, as of right now, I have the Patriots.
Yeah, I think I don't think I gave a pick. I actually, yeah, I think I like the Patriots here week one. Um, but I think it could be definitely very close. So,
Yeah, I might stay away from that one when the time comes. Again, I just want to see what the injuries look like at that point. Um, because that's a lot of injuries on one side where the Raiders are, for the most part, healthy on the other side. So that's just something to monitor. But what do you have in the next one?
um, I got Dolphins Colts.
All right.
Um, well, the Colts do have some question marks. Definitely a quarterback because and I thought Anthony Richardson was going to be the starter, but he got injured week one of preseason.
Shocking. Just
So
shocking.
now it's just going to be like that's going to be the biggest question for me. And like the
I've
Colts
never
are kind
seen
of
a
like
more
on a make it or
injury-prone
break it
quarterback.
year.
I
Yeah, I mean
swear to God.
they're gonna make it or break a year with Anthony Richardson and their head coaching staff. So I like the Colts need to figure it out. But I do think they have the pieces. Like they have a young, talented receiver group. They have a running back. They have an offensive line. They have a good defense. Like they really do have some good pieces. Uh, the Colts really just need to put it together at this point. The Dolphins, on the other hand, I just don't know. Like this team, just to me, hasn't really improved, and I just don't think this team is going to be good down the stretch. Tyreek Hill has had a lot of drama around him not wanting to play, and just a lot of drama around him.
He's also listed as
Not
questionable, believe it or
focusing on
not.
football. Not focusing on football and all that. So I just I don't think the honestly I think the Dolphins are going to be a big crapper team this year. I think a lot of people are going to want to bet them, and play them, but I just don't. I think this team honestly is probably going to finish third in the AFC East. They could be like a 7 win team, especially on defense. I think they have a lot of questions. Offensively, I think they have some weapons, but Tyreek Hill again is going to be one of those. Like, who knows how long he's going to be with the team? He could get traded. Tua Tagovailoa, Tua, who knows how long he's going to play before he gets another concussion.
Yeah, I mean, this is
And
the
the other
battle
thing
of
is,
injury-prone quarterbacks.
especially down the stretch, Tua is not good in cold weather, so he hasn't been good late in the year. He's been really, really bad. So, yeah, I think the Colts or the Dolphins are really just going to be a fade team this year for me. Like I just don't. I think they're going to be just really bad, and I think so. I do like the Colts honestly. And the price, the right now, the line is -118 for the Colts. I do honestly, I kind of like that, especially at home. But Yeah, I mean, I think even though the Colts do have a quarterback issue, I just don't know how the Dolphins are going to look overall in the season. I just don't see this team overall winning more than 7, 8 games. So um, I do like the Colts overall.
Yeah, this game is probably going to be one that I stay away from. I do like the Colts. There is a couple of injuries on the Colts right now, but I think for the most part, like I don't think Josh Downs and Alec Pierce will be out. I think at least one of them will be good, but they're both listed as questionable at the moment. But I just both teams scare me, not in a good way,
Yeah,
but like in a way of like I think both of them are going to be
and that's
struggling
fair.
at quarterback. I mean, this I don't even expect Anthony Richardson might not play of a full 3 games combined throughout the season. I'm not even sure if he did last year. Um, I mean, I don't know what to expect from the Colts quarter. Like, I don't think Daniel Jones is going to come up and light it up. I mean, he could. He absolutely could. I don't think he will. Um, yeah, this is a game I'd probably stay away from. It might even be very low scoring, to be quite honest with you. Um, yeah,
It could be. Yeah, it could be for sure.
like I guess the line I would probably take for this game is the under. I don't know what the line is set at point wise for that.
It's at 46.5.
Oh yeah, I would smash the under on that. Jesus, I'd probably smash that under.
Yeah, I think a big. I mean, I want to see who ends up starting at quarterback. Hopefully, Anthony Richardson is back because it was just I think there's a finger injury with him, but who knows? Um, yeah, I mean, I like probably I like the Colts money line more than the total, but if I were to play the total, I'd probably play the under. Um, yeah,
If Anthony
I don't
Richardson
need
doesn't
help
play,
on that.
I'd probably parlay the under. I
Um,
don't trust Daniel Jones to put up a 30 bomb, and I don't think that
yeah,
the Dolphins are going to score a ton, especially if Tyreek Hill doesn't play, which he is questionable just for injury purposes, let alone if he's even going to be on a team in on the team in 2 weeks. So, what do you got for the
um,
next one?
I got 49ers Seahawks.
Yep.
Um, you can go ahead and start on this one if you want.
I took the Seahawks. Um, yeah, there's a lot of questions on offense as far as receiving core. They lost 2 of their 3 key receivers. I think JSN is fine. I think he'll be all right. Um, they still have Noah Fant. If they could find a way to use him a little bit more, I do think he could be a productive tight end. Sam Darnold, he can ball. He can ball. I mean, he had a big passing year last year. Um, he has experience with a really good receivers. I think that experience with Justin Jefferson actually might help um, his production with JSN. They have a really good running back, obviously. Uh, with Kenny. I think the Seahawks take this. 49ers have a lot of question marks. Um, they had a really bad season. Well, not a really bad season, but as far as where they were prior to last season, they had a really bad season. They went from the Super Bowl to just dirt.
I think they had a lot of
Um,
injuries,
you have a lot of
underwhelming.
injuries, and that doesn't even stop because they're still missing. Right now, questionable. I had listed down as Nick Bosa. There's no Ayuk, and then another questionable is with Juwan Jennings. So their best defensive player is questionable. Again, he probably will play, but no Ayuk. Juwan Jennings questionable up in the air. He's their second best option. Um, Ricky Pearsall is I mean, he's all right. I don't think he's going to be someone that's going to lead the team to a win against Seahawks, who aren't even that bad of a team. Um, I don't know what their running back. I mean, Christian McCaffrey, I'm assuming is going to play. The question is he going to be healthy? Because he was healthy last year a couple of times, and he had to leave the game because he had that knee issue that kept bothering him throughout the middle of the game. So you never know if that re-aggravates in the game. So it's just it's hard to bet on the 49ers here. Seahawks also have a really good, a lot of young talent on the defense. So um, yeah, I have Seahawks at home.
Yeah, I don't mind that take. I do like. I mean, I honestly I had the 49ers, but I do think the price is pretty expensive. So I actually do lean towards the Seahawks as far as the spread goes. But I actually like the under for this game, and I so pick wise. If I'm just making a pick on this game, I do honestly I think the 49ers could win this game. Um, base betting wise, I definitely think there's more value on the Seahawks. Um, but I actually like the under. I think the under is probably the way
What's
I kind of pulled the trigger at. It's 45.5 right now for the
yeah,
total.
okay, I like
Um,
that.
the reason why, I mean, obviously, yeah, you kind of mentioned it. The Seahawks have they've gotten a lot better. I mean, talent wise, I think they have a lot of young talent. Question for me for the Seahawks is going to be Sam Darnold because
He
he's
balled
been
out a
up and
lot
down.
last year. I mean, he had a little bit of a slump at the end, but for the most part, he really
He's
balled
been
out. I
up and
mean,
down, and he
for
really
a team
stunk at
that
the
went through
end.
quarterbacks
Yep.
like laundry last year, he stepped up and he was the guy for the most part.
But I do think the Vikings, and you kind of hinted at it, but the Vikings do definitely have more talent at this point
Yeah,
offensively than the Seahawks. So at this point, we're gonna have to see Sam Darnold, do a little bit, put up those numbers that he put up in the early part of the last year with a little bit less talent. Now I do think what they do have is a great running back. I do really like Kenneth Walker. I mean, he's another one of those guys that's just made a steal. He never gets hurt. Really good. He just like breaks tackles like it's nothing. He's a really good film guy. He's just a guy that's really interesting,
and
really fun to watch.
Zach Charbonnet
Um,
is when Kenny did get hurt last year, Zach Charbonnet stepped up and he actually had I think he had a 150-yard game or something in that time too. So they
yeah,
have a good second string running back for
I
sure.
actually think Kenneth Walker could have a breakout year this year.
They have
So
a
I think
very good
this
two-headed monster there. I think
Um,
for sure.
I think they could be really dangerous. I mean, the running game could be dangerous. I'm not saying the whole team could be dangerous, but
Yeah.
um,
And I think
yeah, I mean,
people don't realize Sam Darnold. If you look at his highlights from last year, he has a weird like sneaky mobility to him. It's weird, but he'll go on he'll have a game where he just has a weird like 20-yard run. It's weird. It's weirdly sneaky, but he does have a little bit of mobility on him.
I don't. Yeah, and I mean that's something every quarterback you want, but he also I just don't like the. It feels like he just has a lot of oops throws or like it just feels like a lot
Yeah,
of throws are or not a lot of throws, but at least sometimes he's really just like he just kind of throws it like like he just misreads it and he just throws it back. Like at least definitely late last year, he just looked really
in all
bad. So
fairness, I don't think
I don't
either
know.
one of these teams are winning the division. I think the Rams have a
No,
better chance at winning this
yeah, I
division
think
than
the
anyone.
Rams are
Cardinals
definitely more prime to
are going to
win.
be probably number two if they're not number one. But I think the
Yeah,
Rams probably have the best chance because once Matthew Stafford is healthy, we'll get into that when we get into the Rams game. But yeah, I mean, I don't expect either one of these teams to be. Um, I mean, they
no,
could most likely
I
both
don't like
miss the
either one of
playoffs.
those teams.
So
Yeah, no, I honestly I like yeah I like the. I mean, yeah, I like the Seahawks and what they've added. I think they did get better, so it's tough to at minus 140. It's tough to play money on the 49ers, but yeah, I like the Seahawks probably overall a little bit better.
yeah, and I also like the I do like the under. I can see that game being like a 17-10. I don't think it's going to be very high scoring. I just don't trust the 49ers at the moment. What do
I
you got
got
for the next
Lions
one?
Packers.
Yep, that's my next one.
I think this is gonna be a freaking awesome game. It's going to be interesting to see the Lions going into this year because they had a lot of changes. Up front, they had a lot of changes. Coaching staff, offensive coordinator they've seen a change. So it's going to be interesting to see the Lions this year because last year the Lions had a dominant offensive line. I can't remember their exact rank, but they were definitely top five. This year, PFF grading wise, they're only 13th, so they have dropped back a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see how that offensive line kind of does because they have had some changes. And then, I mean, obviously at quarterback, they do. I think the Lions do have the best quarterback right now in the division. I don't think Jordan Love right now is better than Jared Goff. Um,
I'm
so
curious to see what JJ McCarthy does, though. He didn't really get to
um,
show himself yet, but
yeah,
there's still a
but in this
potential
game,
upside there.
yeah, in this game, the one because I do think the Lions defensively could be they're back healthy. I mean, Hutchinson's going to be back. He was one of the best defensive ends last year. He had 7 sacks I think he had like 7 sacks through
Yeah,
it's like 6 games or something like that.
it
So
is a
he,
really tough injury to like just come back and dominate after.
um, I thought, hopefully he's back and good. I think the Lions do have potential. So I honestly I like the Lions here a little bit more, but I don't mind the Packers because I do think the Packers could be better, good offensively. To me, it's just more like defensively. I don't know exactly how they're going to look, and um, against the Lions team that's just really run heavy. I think Jahmyr Gibbs has a chance to really kind of overtake that offense this year. And
If he
Amon
didn't
Ra, I
already.
mean, they have a lot of weapons. Yeah, I still like the Lions, honestly,
Yeah,
overall.
I took the Lions too. I mean, aside from what you said, which is totally accurate, I definitely trust. I mean, for one, I trust the Lions' running game more. They still have probably the best running back room in the league right now. Um, but I mean, Lions might be without Sam Laporta. He's been battling injuries. I mean, he even battled injuries last year, but he's listed as questionable. There's a lot of questionables I have for the Packers right now. All the people that are on their injury report for week one. Um, Jordan Love, Dontavion Wicks, Romeo Dobbs, Xavier McKinney, Jordan Reed, or Jaden Reed, sorry, and definitely for sure no Christian Watson. Lots of
Yeah.
injuries, especially on
Yeah.
that offense. So if it's hard to say that the Packers can keep up with what I know the Lions offense is capable of. Even with the movement, I don't think Jared Goff is just gonna drop an egg.
For
And
some
even if
reason,
he
I think
did, I think the
yeah,
Detroit Lions running game is way too reliable. I don't think you need much of a game plan to get Jahmyr Gibbs in the end zone or David Montgomery in the end zone. I don't think it takes much. Um,
yeah.
so with all those question marks on a Packers offense just alone tells me that I'm not sure they can keep up with the Lions. And then the Xavier McKinney on defense, that's pretty noteworthy too. Um, so yeah, I mean, I took the Lions just based off of injuries alone, handedly the Lions. I also think I think they're just simply the better team. Um, I mean,
Yeah,
even with no
I
injuries
honestly think the Packers
aside,
are just a little overhyped. It's
yeah,
another one of those teams that's just
absolutely.
overhyped.
Yeah,
It's just a big market team. They're almost like the Lakers. They're just overhyped.
I mean,
Um,
Jordan Love makes one play and then everybody freaks out about it, but like he doesn't make that play again.
I think a lot of people sleep on the Lions. A lot of people sleep on Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff was one of the only quarterbacks, along with Baker Mayfield, to throw 40 touchdowns and or yeah, I think he threw like 40 touchdowns and 4,000 passing yards. So
And I kind of give that to the
he
coaching staff. I mean, look at a lot of his touchdowns. I mean, there was quite a few trick play touchdowns he had that were thrown. Um,
no, I think
I
but
mean, the
yeah, I mean, you have
yeah,
to give credit to both. I think yeah, I mean, with that offensive line, with the talent they have,
they
I
have a
mean, I
huge
don't.
coaching advantage. I mean, I think Dan Campbell's probably top three head coach. And I
Yeah.
don't think. I mean, yeah, I don't. There's not a lot of
At
people
minus
ahead of him.
105, I would be playing the Lions for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. We got for
I
next
got
one.
Texans Rams next
Yep.
game. Um, yeah, I mean, we kind of hinted. We hinted at it before. Rams. I
Yep.
think the Rams are probably the best team in the NFC West. So I do think that
Yeah.
ultimately they'll end up getting enough wins this year to win the division, and this is one of those games that I think they'll end up winning. The Texans, I think, they were good last year. They had some up and down moments. I think their defense has a chance to be really good. But the big problem for me for the Texans is their offensive line. Their offensive line was absolutely terrible last year.
Yep. Big
And
time.
I think their receiving core is going to be a little bit of an issue this year. So
Yeah.
really offensively for the Texans, I mean, it's really going to come down to how healthy they can stay at the receiver position. And then how good of a year is Joe Mixon going to have, because they're going to need to be able to run the ball a little bit in order to take some of the pressure off of Stroud, because I really don't think this offensive line is going to be able to hold up against most of the teams in the NFL. So like,
Especially against the
yeah, I
Rams,
mean,
who have
um,
crazy talent on the defensive line.
yeah, the Rams have kind of gotten younger and added some guys on the defensive line in free agency. So, yeah, I like the Rams really on the spread. I started initially on the Rams just kind of as a pick, but I do like the Rams. Honestly, I probably will find a way to bet them,
Yeah.
because I like them. And we didn't really talk about too much of the offense, but Devontae Adams I think still has at least one good season left in him. Um,
I
I
mean, if
think,
he's even just a security blanket for just like reliable short throws, like just yardage wise, I think him and Puka can be a really nasty duo. Like
yeah,
really
and then
disgusting.
Matthew Stafford I think still has some juice left in him too. I think he's
Oh,
shown that.
absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, I think I like the Rams here for sure.
Yeah. I also took the Rams. Texans, obviously, they have. I mean, yeah, you touched on the wide receiver core. They have no Tank Dell till midseason at least. I don't even know if he'll be back next season. There's a chance he doesn't play. Um, no Diggs, and they just traded Josh Mechie, which would be their fourth option. They actually just traded them to the Eagles today. So yeah, that happened. Um, so like they really only have one reliable receiver and one reliable tight end, because Dalton Schultz is a very solid tight end. And obviously Nico Collins is, in my opinion, he could be considered a top five receiver. Um, but like that doesn't mean much when they're the only
Problem
two
is they have no
people,
line.
and they
Yeah,
have no line, um, and it all kind of starts there. And their defense, on the other hand, they have a decent defense. I don't know what's happening with CJGJ yet. I don't know if he's gonna play.
Stingley I think can be one of the best corners in the NFL. Um, yeah, I think that defense really can
Yeah,
be a
Derek
very good
Stingley is really
unit, but
good. Um,
um,
it's just
yeah,
a
I
matter
just
of
don't know
injuries
how he
there.
gets the with problems up front. I don't know how you get to any side of it when you know you have problems up front. And I just don't know how you bet a team to win,
Uh,
um, if
yeah,
you know you have problems up front. Defense, offensive line and potentially defensive line too.
yeah. On the Rams side, there is only two questionables of note. Right now on the injury report for Week One is Matthew Stafford and Jared Verse. I think both of them will play. I'm pretty confident in that. So assuming they're healthy, um, I mean, think of the offense the Rams have right now. You have Kyron Williams, Ronnie Rivers, if he plays, is a really good second string running back. I think he showed some hope last year. And then obviously you have the receiver core, which is disgusting. You have Tutu Atwell, Puka Nakua, Devontae Adams, Colby Parkinson. I think is fine. Tyler Higbee is a great tight end. And then on the defensive side, again, we already touched on it, but Jared Verse, I think, um, unfortunately C.J. Stroud is probably going to feel a little bit of Jared Verse's presence real early. Um, But yeah, Rams have a really good defense as well, and they have a. I love D'Amico Ryan's, but unfortunately, I think we can agree that the Rams also hold a big coaching advantage. So
Yeah.
I think all in all, the Rams at home. This felt like a no brainer to me. I'd probably be very confident in that come week one.
Yeah, I like that too. I
I
let me see what I got for
think the
next.
next one's the Ravens, Ravens and Bills.
Yeah,
Here we go, the little Bills
yeah.
action here.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be tough as well. If I'm being completely honest, I mean, of course, I want the Bills to win, and I think, I mean, they do have a good chance at home. But I mean, this Ravens defense is going to be scary this year. They were a really good unit last year, and they really made some big improvements on especially in the secondary, this offseason. So. They're going to be a scary unit this year. It's going to be a fun game to watch. I think that's why it's on prime time.
Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be a really fun game to watch. And the defense, I think both defenses, that was the big thing going into really both of these teams. I mean, the Ravens were a little bit better defensively last year, but both of these teams wanted to kind of improve on that side of the ball, and I think both teams really did. The Bills, obviously, through the draft, they got a couple young corners. They got a lot of young linebackers and defensive tackles. They drafted very, very well defensively. So I think that's good. They're younger, and then on top of that, they added some veteran help back. They got Trey White back, which I really like for the defensive backs. You add some veteran, a veteran player that can go teach and coach a young guy like Hairston and those younger guys, and I think that's really helpful for them, just to have a guy like that back. And so I think the Bills are going to be better defensively. I just ultimately I don't know if I mean betting wise I definitely won't bet on the Bills because I don't like betting on my team. But I think I like the Bills just at home. Um, but I do think it's going to be a close game. I mean the line is where it is for a reason. I think that's correct. And so yeah, I mean, and I like the fact that we re-signed James Cook. Obviously, that's huge. I think the Bills' offensive line was a top 10 unit last year for sure. They have a lot of good, just continuous. They have not a lot of movement on that offensive line. They haven't moved a lot of pieces. A lot of, continue, just keeping a lot of the same players. So I think this unit is still going to be good. I think, yeah, it's just going to be a close game, ultimately.
yeah. I unfortunately had bad news. I took the Ravens here.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I don't blame you. I mean, it's going to be a close game, and
I see what there was one glaring thing that I saw going into this. Again, a lot of the things I looked at was injuries. Uh, the Ravens, the only real injury I saw on them for them as far as like key players was Isaiah Likely, and unfortunately, or well, I guess fortunately for Ravens, they have an even better tight end ahead of them. So it's like I don't. That was just of note. Whereas the Bills are dealing with the main question mark there was Khalil Shakur, who's injured,
right.
and he's
Yep.
the number one guy right now. Because I mean, Keon Coleman had a good showing. He's looked really good in training camps, but he's also, I mean, based on last year, Shakir is the guy,
Yeah,
and that's a really tough injury to go through, with the lack of experience Josh Allen has with the rest of the receiving core. Like, I know you guys got Joshua Palmer, right? There's
yeah. I
not a
mean,
lot of
yeah. Joshua Palmer was a big ad. I think that's going to be a very good. I think
but
he'll
there's just not a lot of
do.
experience there. Whereas the
Yeah,
Ravens, I mean, DeAndre Hopkins doesn't really need experience. He's been in the league long enough to not really need that. And aside from that, Lamar has experience with like his whole offense right now. Um, and the Bills, outside of a Mark Andrews drop, don't have a tremendous track record against the Ravens, unfortunately, especially recently. Um, it's a tough
well, in the
spot to be
playoffs
in.
they do.
Yeah, and in the play again, like I mean, they were a Mark Andrews drop away from um, changing that narrative as well. So it's just it's
Yeah,
hard to
the
pick.
game will be close.
Yeah, I think it will be. I think it'll be high scoring too. Um, this is definitely one where the over might make a lot of sense.
But I'll
Um,
touch on the Bills wide receiver core a little bit more. I honestly, I think Coleman has looked decent in training camp, but last year the big problem with him was that he really didn't create the separation that you really want to see from a receiver. He just didn't get the separation that you're kind of looking for. I think he's a good playmaker, but I don't know if I don't know if I'm confident that that's going to improve because really you need either good route running or good speed, or good. You need one of the two to kind of create that separation. And he just wasn't very good at that last year at all. So really the whole season. So. And then Shakir, yeah, you kind of said it. I don't know I don't think he's gonna be ready week one. It doesn't sound like it, but that's obviously an issue because he was the number one target last year.
and I think he will
And
be
then
this year. Like when he's healthy, I think he'll have another big year. He's a very
oh yeah,
shifty, small.
I think we'll have a similar year. I think we'll have kind of the
Yeah,
same thing. But the thing is, a lot of people don't. The thing, a lot of people think of the Bills and they think of them as a passing offense. This team was a big running offense last year. I mean, they were a top five running unit last year. They
I
were
think
a
I think
really
they
really
see that,
good.
but if you look at I agree with you. I mean, look at all the big passing plays. Um, Even against was against the Chiefs in the playoffs. One of the biggest passing plays from Josh Allen was a deep back end zone pass to Ty Johnson. You
Yeah,
think
and I think
of
that's
the
because
big
Josh
passes.
Allen can make those plays.
Who was the one
Um,
running back? I think it was like a third string, the third running back in rotation who caught like an 80 yard, was it like a
yeah,
90 yard touchdown pass from Josh Allen in the regular season? Like all those big plays aside from Khalil Shakir was was all running backs. It was all passing game with the running backs.
yeah. So and then Josh Allen obviously in the running game, I think makes that running game dynamic. You got James Cook who can run and catch out of the backfield. So it's really for me like when I know a lot of people think of the Bills as like a passing offense because they think of Josh Allen, but really this team is dedicated on running the football and. So I really think that it's really just going to come down to who runs the football better and who turns the ball over less, and who wins the
And it's hard
turnover
to bet
battle.
against Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in that.
So
It really is.
yeah, I mean, it's tough. I do like the Bills better at home, but yeah, it's going to be a close game.
It
So
will be.
yeah.
Again, I think the
Um,
over is a beauty. I don't know what the over is. I would assume it's probably pretty close to 50. If I would
yeah,
imagine.
yeah, it's
Even
51
then,
and a half.
I'd probably still take that to be honest. Um,
Primetime games are tough. Honestly, I would lean under, especially because both teams run the football a lot. But yeah,
I don't know. The Ravens have a couple of cool little new toys in the passing game, so it'd be interesting to see. I don't think DeAndre Hopkins going to make a huge spot. I don't think he's going to go for 200 at all by any means, but I think he's going to be a nice little red zone target because it's not like when you're in the red zone you're looking at Zay Flowers to catch a fade over a cornerback. I
yeah,
definitely think DeAndre Hopkins will be that option, um, which I guess kind of saves the longevity of Mark Andrews because he's been battling some injuries. Obviously, I think that kind of takes a little bit of load off of him and will allow him to be more of a all around tight end. He's been a big pass catching tight end. I think it'll allow him to block even more, which again works out for Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. It's just so hard to bet against that. But yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be close. My guess is it'll be a high scoring game. I know it's prime time, but I mean, the last time the Bills and Ravens played, it was in the snow. I don't think you need to worry about that this time. Um,
yeah,
so
um,
it is a really good
yeah. I
prime.
mean,
This is probably three out of the or two out of the three prime. I don't really consider Brazil a primetime game. It's stupid to consider that. As far as the primetime games, the two out of the three, I think the Eagles and the Cowboys, 9 out of 10 times is going to be a good primetime game. It's just one of the better rivalries in the NFL. It's like just a cutthroat rivalry. But the Bills and Ravens also a huge, great primetime game. Great primetime game. The last one, unfortunately, I don't. It feels like a 4 o'clock game to me, but I don't know.
Um, yeah, I mean, both teams are well, the Bears more than the Vikings. Bears are definitely have a lot of changes, especially with the coaching. They have a brand new offensive coordinator with a brand new scheme. So Caleb Williams is going to have to learn a brand new scheme.
Yeah, and it's a team
Um,
that's not coming off of a stellar year. Whereas
yeah,
the
and they already
Vikings, they
didn't have
came
a
off of
great
a
offensive
decent
year.
year. They almost took the division. I mean,
Um,
if they win against Detroit, which they almost won against Detroit once, I think it was like a 3 point game. Vikings could have very well walked away with the first seed. Vikings are one of the most underrated teams in the NFL, and that was with Sam Darnold. So JJ McCarthy lives up to the hype that he's gotten, which I've seen some film. I have seen some practice film from him, and he looks pretty good. Um, yeah, I mean, the Vikings,
well, that's going to be the question. I mean, he
they
got
could
hurt
dethrone the
last
Lions.
season. Yeah, I mean that's going to be the question. He got hurt last season, and JJ McCarthy. I mean, he has all the weapons. It's just going to be whether or
Yeah,
not he
he has probably
delivers.
one of the better offenses. I mean, the line isn't great, and we saw that last year. Sam Darnold was getting hit probably every other play, but I mean, to be fair, JJ McCarthy is probably a lot more
And
mobile
you
than
got Aaron
Sam
Jones,
Darnold.
Justin
So
Jefferson, Jordan Addison.
yeah,
I
as
mean
far
the
as
list goes
weapons,
on.
as far as people to give the ball to, Vikings are one of the better teams to be
And
put
then they
in.
added that Mason kid out of from whatchamacallit, San Francisco,
Yep,
uh, Jordan Mason.
yep. Who was also really
I mean,
good.
he had 1,900 yards from scrimmage last season. I mean, he
Yep.
was a beast when McCaffrey was out. So, I mean, this
Yeah,
offense is going to
Vikings
be
offense
just
is
really good. I
definitely
think.
a scary one. Especially, like I said,
Uh,
especially if JJ McCarthy is as good as he's been sought out to be. And again, from the film, I would almost believe he could be pretty good. Just based off of what I've seen, he's made a couple of pretty impressive throws that I've seen. A lot of deep balls too, which is really good if you're Jordan Addison because I see Justin Jefferson as like he's the type of dude where you'd probably throw, um, a couple of like a shorter pass, let him do the rest of the work. Jordan Addison's kind of like your deep guy, and I think, I mean, you saw the year he had last year. Jordan Addison was a big threat. I think he might even be an even bigger threat after his little suspension. I think he's going to come back and probably have a really good year. Probably one of the few receiver duos that can compete with like Bengals and the Eagles receiver duos. I think they're one of the few. And you have T.J. Hawkinson,
yeah,
so
I think
it only gets better.
DeAndre Swift has a chance to have a better year.
Yep.
Um, because of the scheme that they're in, but I don't know. Outside of that, I really don't have anything strong from the Bears side of things, at least offensively.
I
And
guess
then
the only question I have going into this is the Vikings defense. They
yeah,
have, I mean, their best player is kind of aging. He's probably got maybe one last season in him. Um, they do have Josh Metellus, but he is questionable for this game. But he's kind of like the Swiss Army knife of the defense. He kind of plays everywhere. They do. I will say they do have a really good cornerback tandem. um, they have
I will say the Vikings defensive coordinator though is really good.
yep,
So I do like their coordinator. I think
yeah.
he'll find a way to make that defense kind of develop that defense. It may not look amazing week one, but I'm not really too worried about it against the
But then
Bears.
again, it could. It could also look very good week one because I mean
It could, yeah. I
we
mean,
have seen the Bears look
Bears,
pretty bad. So I mean,
yeah,
and they don't
Bears.
have a lot of differences on the offensive side. I mean, honestly, the most notable difference is they don't have Keenan Allen. They still have DJ Moore. They still have DeAndre Swift. They still have Rome Odunze. It's a lot of the same weapons as far as Caleb Williams can go to. Um,
You definitely want to see a lot. I mean, you do want to see development out of the Vikings though overall throughout the season. I mean, a little
yeah.
bit obviously out of the
Again, if
quarterback
they
and
get
the
off to a
defense.
really hot start, I think they can, because come week three, they're gonna get another big weapon back in Jordan Addison. I'm gonna keep saying his name because I honestly think there's a chance he has almost as good of a season as Justin Jefferson ends up having. Um, he's gonna play 3 games less. and honestly, Justin Jefferson is also questionable. He's battling a hamstring, which he often does. I feel like this dude has a hamstring injury like twice a year. Um, but I mean, when he's healthy and Jordan Addison's healthy, I think there's a good chance the Vikings actually take the division this year. Um, they're a team to be afraid of, specifically on the offensive side, because they have. I mean, you want to talk about stacked rosters, and you can talk about the Eagles roster. You can talk about the Ravens, but I think the Vikings are almost just as stacked, especially on the offensive side. Um, I don't see the Bears doing much to that, unfortunately.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I
I
do.
have the Vikings on that one.
Yeah, I like the Vikings
Again,
on
it's such a
my.
lopsided matchup here. I'm surprised this is a primetime game. It feels like a 4 o'clock game. It just feels very lopsided. Like I would almost prefer the Texans and Rams. There's probably a couple of games I'd prefer over this one. This one was. I mean, this might be a blowout. I don't.
Could be.
It's a tough one. Yeah, I have the Vikings handedly. It didn't take me long to come up with. I mean, even if Justin Jefferson's grabbing his hamstring, I don't think they lose this one. They have enough weapons. T.J. Hawkinson could easily go for 100. Uh, I think J.J. McCarthy might show up and show out for sure. He's looked really good in the practice, and he's played. I mean, to be in his benefit, he's playing against a relatively good defensive squad. I mean, Vikings defense was decent last year, definitely ahead of the middle. Um, Again, you said it. They have a really good defensive coordinator. They have a lot of good cornerbacks. I think their cornerbacks are pretty solid. Um, and they have one of the best safeties of our generation. Again, he's aging, but he's still someone that knows the game. He doesn't need to be good to be good. So, I mean, again, I think that only benefits JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
So, I think
Yeah, that pretty
wraps
much
up.
finishes it for the week one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and we'll. I mean, I hope we can keep doing these and try to figure out ways to do it differently.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
guess for
yeah,
now
this is
we'll
going to be
figure out.
primarily football throughout these, but there will be a mixture of this and that. Um,
We'll do them whenever, right?
so
I mean,
yeah, I
I
mean,
don't.
we'll
We'll
try to
try to
aim
find
for one a
times
week,
where.
but um, like if we could do one a week, especially in the football season, I think that'll be easy. Um, but there's a couple of weeks until week one starts, so we could try to do others until then. But I think once the football season starts, it's gonna be a lot easier because you'll have a full slate of games every week to go through. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, this is all premature. There's still a couple weeks. There's a
yeah.
lot that
Obviously,
can
there's
change.
still a few weeks
Freaking,
left.
you know, Baker Mayfield could tear his freaking Achilles within the next week in a practice. We don't know. Very premature, but as far as we know, these are they're pretty solid, I guess. I tried to note as
At
many
least there's some
questionables as
plays
I
that
could
I feel like
just
are
going into it.
pretty. I think
So I
there's
think
some plays at
yeah,
least if you're pretty confident you can probably get in on it now if you wanted to,
I think the
especially like the
biggest thing
ones.
between now and week one is just to monitor the injuries. If they're as accurate as we've said, like you know, like me, fully expect like you know looking at some of the I fully expect Landon Dickerson to play for the Eagles. Um, so like those type of injuries you can kind of expect to play. But then you look at the other ones like we don't know where Michael's going to be in 2 weeks. Like it doesn't sound like he wants to be in Dallas, and it doesn't sound like they're prioritizing right at the moment. So I don't really know what to expect there. Um, I think the best thing is to just whoever's listening monitor injuries and I guess moves
Well,
between
even if
teams.
Parsons plays week one, I mean, how good is he going to look? You know, I mean,
Yeah,
we don't know how good he's going to look if he's going to try to play. I mean, yeah, that's going to be obviously a big question mark. But
and
I mean,
that'll
ultimately,
definitely shift lines for sure.
that game is already lopsided. It's like I don't know. I mean, the big question for me is like, obviously the Cowboys and offense, honestly, offense and defense, but big time offense for sure. I don't think their offense is going to be as good as what people think because I don't think Dak Prescott is very good. So
Yeah, and it's gonna be hard to find reps for George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb.
yeah.
Those are two number one caliber receivers. They're gonna be big. They're gonna be fighting for the ball.
But
So
as we say that, we have the Dodgers who just we got Mookie Betts who just hit a basically a walk off homer. So that's awesome.
no, nice. I got screwed by the Red Sox in the ninth inning today, so it is what it is. They literally had to lead the whole game in the ninth inning. They wanted to go ahead and blow it. That's awesome. I'm
I
sure
think
the
we still have.
Boston home.
There's still
I'm
one
sure
more
the fans
game.
love that.
There's still one more game. It's the Mariners Mets.
Again, the
Um,
Mariners have also screwed me lately. Ever since Carl Riley just has been out, they haven't been hitting very well, which
Honestly,
is
the
weird
Mets are the
because
team that freaking screws me all the time. Every time I bet the Mets, they don't score any runs, and then as soon as I bet against them, they start scoring
yeah,
runs.
they lost like 6 out of 7 games. And yesterday they won. I had the Mariners. The one time I picked the Mariners money line, they ended up winning their first game out of them in the last like 2 weeks. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one in New York. I don't know. I might just go under, to be honest, under 8.5. Keep it simple.
All right. Well, that wraps up episode one. So this
All
should be
right,
out uh, tonight, which would be the 17th. So,
all right.
yeah. All right. Peace out, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in.